winter evenings in Delhi. I was competing in the school games aquatic nationals at the Talkatara Stadium in November 2018. Everything seemed to be going really well in the first leg of my 100-meter breaststroke race. I had just turned at the 50-meter wall when my world became completely foggy and watery. Literally. My worst nightmare had come true. My powered goggles were dangling precariously in front of my face. They had come off at the turn. Alarm bells were going wild in my head as I was trying to fathom what I would do next. I had only two options at that point. I could either drop out of the race or swim without the goggles. My mind in that split second chose the latter. I might not have won the gold that day, and yes, missing out on the first position, it did sting. But standing up to the challenge, even though it was momentary, and overpowering it with all my grit and determination, was the highlight of that race for me. This was one of the most fulfilling moments of my life, and it was possible only due to the series of grueling lessons on mental strength that I had endured over the years. Mental strength. It's something that was never set in reality for me. It felt like a grown-up word. I never understood how one could build strength from a muscle I had never seen or actively used. But over a few years, I would come to learn that not only is mental strength the toughest muscle you can possess, it can come to define who you are as a person. And today, I'm going to be sharing my experiences building mental strength via my journey in swimming. I used to be a very shy kid and was completely overwhelmed with the fear of competing or trying something new. My parents realized that I needed an outlet to experiment with something I loved in order to build my self-confidence. They also knew that my indelible love for the water had the potential to override that fear, and it did. My first swimming competition was exhilarating and gripping. I felt at home in that 50-meter pool, which for a 10-year-old, it seemed like an endless, exciting sea. I didn't know it then, but the first lesson my parents taught me by putting me in that swimming competition was to never run away from a challenge. In an activity that I loved, I slowly transitioned from fearing it to embracing competition. By presenting such instances of challenges, swimming for the next few years would play a major role in shaping my mental strength, more than I could ever imagine. In early 2015, I immersed myself into serious swimming training. My daily routine changed. 4:30 a.m., it became my new normal. My mother and I would be commuting 30 kilometers a day, and twice that though, for my swim sessions. And of course, I had to attend school as well. I had entered the chlorine-scented, sleep-deprived world of competitive swimming. I would enroll for every competition that I possibly could attend. Initially, victories were not medals, but were dropping a mere second in swim timings. These small victories kept bolstering my confidence. I competed in my first junior nationals at the age of 12 and won my first medal on a national platform at the same event. This win made me raise the bar higher for myself. However, as I progressed the ranks, I learned tougher lessons. The journey to success came with its own set of hardships and dejections. This is something I learned at my first senior nationals the following year at Trivandrum. Being the youngest in the competition, which saw the greats of Indian swimmers participate, I was both excited and intimidated. I was leading the 100-meter breaststroke race till the very last meters, until the anxiety-filled exuberance of winning the race, it took over me. In a frenzy to touch the wall, I lost my pace and ended up touching second. I was shocked and dejected. I'm sure you're all aware of that phrase, grabbing victory from the jaws of defeat. But at Trivandrum, I did the exact opposite. I grabbed defeat from the jaws of victory. I'd given my absolute all, exhausted every energy reserve in every muscle, but had still not seen the outcome I wanted. After that event, it felt as if at every practice, my brain would just drive the brakes on giving my absolute best effort for the fear that I would not be able to accomplish the tough workout set before me, much like the goal I had set for myself at Trivandrum. But I realized that this was keeping me in the confines of my comfort zone. What exactly is a mental comfort zone? It's when the brain decides to play it safe by telling us what we are capable of, when deciding what our potential is. Why exactly does it do it? It does it to save us from the pain of rejection after exerting ourselves to the maximum and not seeing the results we desire. But I realized there was a price to pay for staying in this comfort zone. I stopped progressing and was stuck at the same timings. I had to drag myself out of this, which brings me to lesson number 1. Mental strength. It doesn't come to those in their comfort zones. I needed to become comfortable being uncomfortable, and that meant running towards challenges willingly in my daily practice. It involved setting goals that I thought were unreachable, pushing to do timings that I wasn't capable of doing, slowly inching away from my comfort zone. Those daily practices made me realize that I had a love and hate relationship with swimming. Every time I sprang off the diving board, moved my limbs as fast as I could, conquered a set, swimming was my best friend. But there were times when I didn't even want to utter the word swimming. After a grueling swim, where I could hardly feel my hands and my legs, and my lungs were set ablaze. When no matter how hard I tried, I could just not get my timings to drop. It hurt that after hours of training every morning and evening, swimming, it taunted me like this. It almost hurt and it almost lured me to retreat to my comfort zone. But this was where my mental power would kick in and motor me through the pain and self-doubt. My coach used to often say to us, cry and practice so you can smile at the competition. Looking back at my journey, I finally understand the meaning of his words. In January 2020, Khelo India Games were held in Assam, and I was back into the fray with renewed optimism and energy, even though my board exams were drawing near. Like any other race day, I went through my pre-race routine, did my warm-up workout, took 15 minutes to pull up an extremely tight racing suit, and got ready for the showdown. As we stood on the blocks, the start whistle shrieked in my ear. My muscles responded by springing me into the water. As we raced away, I was momentarily reminded of my race at Senior Nationals, the one I led and lost in the last few meters. It suddenly felt like I was trailing my competitors. My eyes blurred. My breathing for a second became faster and out of rhythm with my motion. A big gulp of water forced its way down my throat, and there was this sinking feeling that I wasn't moving and that there was nobody there to push me. Once again, it was just me and my thoughts motoring down a lane of water in isolation. But this time, I wasn't going to let myself get phased. I took a deep breath and dived into motion with all the resilience of my mind. It triggered a completely new gear in me. My legs went from being dragged to whipping the water as quickly as they could. My head sprung out a little faster and dove back in at the same speed, keeping in pace with my hands. It was all a flurry when I slammed my hands onto the touchpad at the finish wall and looked back to see the timing. A new Indian record had been set to my name. I knew it was all a result of my concerted effort to strengthen myself mentally. Swimming has a uniqueness about it. The cheers of the crowd which push every competitor in the other sports to give their best. It's silently missing in this sport. When I'm immersed in the water, I have little to zero sense of hearing. No matter how loud the crowds cheer and whistle, it hardly penetrates through the water to create any sort of moral boost for me. It's when I feel the loneliest, but it's also when my state of mind matters most. My attention and focus is solely targeted on one goal, getting to the end of the wall, getting to the end of that pool. Swimming made me realize that this state of mind has constantly carved out my destiny for me. Not my body, not my competitors, not my parents, or even the cheers of the spectators. Only and only my mind. The immense pride I felt when I was lauded by Honorable PM of India, Shri Narendra Modi, in his Mann Ki Baat, and when I stamped my name on national records and a collection of medals. They're all a reflection of my 4-year journey in swimming. The aching muscles, the painful injuries, the strict diet routine, the missing of parties, festivals, celebrations, holidays with families and friends. None of that is remembered when you are deeply immersed in what you love doing the most. Swimming has been much more than a sport for me. It's a way of life. And it has certainly taken me places much further than the end of the swimming pool. And I'm grateful for it. In the beginning of the year 2020, the world was engulfed with a terrible pandemic, and life came to a screeching halt. We were confined to our homes, schools transitioned online, exams were cancelled, and swimming pools were only in pictures. For me, the days which were completely consumed by swimming, they suddenly became voids of endless time. Trying to keep myself occupied, I started pursuing my childhood hobby of painting. As the impact of the lockdown began to unfold, seeing the plight of the helpless migrant workers who were trying to make their way back to their hometowns, it was very heartbreaking. I set up a website, sold the paintings online, and the money I collected was donated to a charity organization which helped communities affected by the pandemic. As I had learned from swimming, it wasn't easy sailing at first, but I overcame the challenges posed in this new venture as well. Through my journey of working with the NGO, I came across a school in Jharkhand. The children at this boarding home were from extremely marginalized societies, and with the help of my school, we started conducting online classes, teaching them dance and other activities. Seeing the eagerness and joy in their face when we connect with them has become the highlight of my week. 6 months down the line, and I realized that the same lessons in the power of mind I had garnered and applied in swimming had immensely helped me in this endeavor as well. Yes, the times have been extremely challenging for all of us, and we are all trying to adapt to a new normal. I have realized that it is your mind that keeps you strong through all of it. Everything I experienced, right from diving head on into the world of competitive swimming to not cracking under pressure when I was losing my goggles or confronting the COVID-19 situation, they've all been challenges that I have overcome. But I learned to derive opportunities from them to learn something new about myself and my capabilities. This big mind muscle that I had for so long struggled to build, suddenly it started defining me. The key to getting ahead or achieving dreams is consistently working on this mind muscle. Always run towards a challenge and run away from your comfort zone. The more you exercise it, the better you get at handling adversities. And when you come across a time in your life when you feel like nothing is working in your favor, or so you think, when in that depth of blindness you feel like you are trailing behind, believe in the power of your mind. The power that you have been charging every time you learn from a failure or willingly did something new and uncomfortable. Each one of us has that unique passion that holds the key to triggering that sense of mental power. For me, it was swimming which did it. Once you find yours, do not lose that key, because it then defines who you are. Thank you.